Hi Virgo, welcome. Thanks so much for joining me on the Fool's Journey Tarot. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Virgo for this upcoming week in June, this last part of June and into July. So this is a general reading, and that means it can apply to just about anything in your life, romantic relationships or otherwise. Don't forget to be flexible with the energy. You may feel like I'm reading for you, but you could potentially feel like you're cross-watching, and you can mix and match the roles within the reading. In other words, you might be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards. My intention is always to reach those that need this message and will benefit the most from the message. So parts of this reading may resonate for you, other parts may not. Hopefully by the time you finish watching, you feel like you have something beneficial that will be helpful to you in some way, shape, or form, as that is my intention. Okay, Virgo, so we'll get started here after one or two more shuffles. If you do want more specific information regarding my channel, my videos, and my readings, check out the description box. One more shuffle, and we're going to get started. Here we go. For Virgo, last part of June, first part of July. We're going to start off with the King of Pentacles in reverse. And he is paired with the Four of Wands. Five of Wands in reverse. Eight of Swords. The Page of Cups. Ten of Cups. The Six of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So we have a King of Pentacles in reverse on the table. Virgo, I want to remind you that this can be your energy or somebody that you're dealing with. I feel like this person is trying to move towards a long-term goal. Maybe something that this person has been manifesting into their life, something that they're creating. Could be a job situation, family or home situation, relationships that this person is developing over time. I feel like this is something long-term, but I feel like this person is feeling insecure about it. And part of the reason this person is feeling maybe insecure or uncertain about whether they can attain this goal or achieve what they're working toward is because the others involved in the situation are not happy. And part of that Four of Wands goal for this King of Pentacles is that everybody involved is content, happy, feels good about the situation, is as invested in it as this King of Pentacles wants to be or has been. I feel like there's a lot of discontent energy on the table. I think that there could be potentially a lot of fighting or disagreements, arguments, heated debate. And at this point in time, it feels like it's going nowhere. It feels like this, again, involves a group of people. This can be a family dynamic, group situation, workplace with a situation with coworkers or colleagues, business partners. Could even be, a spouse, children, family, extended family, that kind of thing. But the goal here is for everyone to be content and happy with the situation. And if that's the case, things can move forward in a positive manner. That's what this King of Pentacles intends, I believe. But so far it hasn't been successful. And that's because the people surrounding him are not happy with how things are going, maybe with the potential outcomes ahead of them. There is definitely some disagreements, debate, conflict. Let's get some more cards out here. Virgo, let's see what else we get. The King is clarified by the Page of Swords. The Sun in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. the Star in reverse. The Five of Wands again, this time in the upright position. The Two of Pentacles in reverse. The Four of Wands in reverse this time. And then we have the Moon in reverse. Okay, so there's one person in particular, it feels like, is being represented in this group dynamic, a Queen of Cups. And this person in particular is probably the main, or one of the main reasons for the conflict, for the inability to come to an agreement or compromise. This Queen of Cups is the reason, at least right now, behind why things aren't moving forward, or why things aren't as stable as this King of Pentacles would like them to be. I think there's been some dishonesty with regard to whatever these two people are moving toward together or working on. I don't think that this Queen has represented her vision as clearly as she probably should have at the onset of whatever this is for you, Virgo. I'm feeling like Virgo is the King of Pentacles, but again, you can be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the reading. There's this desire for friendly debate, for friendly conversation, for discussion that will move things forward, and that's not happening. Again, because I feel like there's a certain level of I guess you can call it deceit. I don't know if it's outright lies or just people not being upfront or forthright with their intentions or their feelings, or how they're expressing their emotions with regard to the situation. Because as it stands right now, things are not stable and things are not moving in the direction that would allow for whatever it is you're working toward right now, Virgo, to transpire the way that you'd hoped it would. And that's because, again, there are a bunch of people involved in this situation, and not everybody has the same vision. And specifically, this Queen of Cups feels like she is at the center of this discontentment. Now, this Queen of Cups, she may feel trapped in this situation. She might be feeling like she's not being heard, or that she doesn't have a say in the matter. She might be feeling like she's targeted as being the reason behind a lack of success, which would not feel very good. If she's not being targeted directly, and by that I mean, let's say you're in a room full of people that are all moving toward this Four of Wands endeavor of yours, this goal, this project, whatever this is for you. And people aren't directly saying to this Queen, why can't you just see things the way we're seeing things? You're keeping things from moving forward. Your vision is flawed, and you need to change your perspective. If people aren't saying those kind of things directly to her, then that is the feeling surrounding this person, or the energy that she's absorbing. Is that while it may not be directly stated, she feels like she's trapped in a situation where the other people surrounding her or around her with regard to this Four of Wands, this whatever this is that you're working on, building, moving toward, again, it could be anything. She feels like she's been targeted, like she's being the scapegoat. Like people are looking at her like she's the reason why things aren't working out the way they should. I think there's a sense that there's been a certain level of avoiding clarity, avoiding pointing fingers. Again, I get the sense that part of the reason why the situation is the way it is because people haven't been forthright and completely honest and open as to what their visions are, what their expected outcomes are, or their hopes for the situation. You know, it could be, for example, that at the beginning of this endeavor, whatever this is for you, Virgo, when you first started, when you initiated the ideas, when you first started moving toward whatever this is for you, there was a lot of agreeable energy around the table. Everybody saying, yeah, that sounds really great. I can do this, or I can provide this, or I have this resource, or let me contact my friend who knows about this. And there's just a lot of it. It feels like there, at least at the very beginning, there was movement forward because there was a lot of people kind of with the same general perspective. As you move forward within a goal or project or some kind of endeavor, you have to start honing in on the fine details. Now that we've achieved this first general goal, let's say you acquired a loan at the bank, so you've got the money that you need to invest in whatever it is. I'm just using this as an example. I'm not saying this is your situation. But let's say you've gotten past that first point. You know, everybody's been able to contribute a certain level of financial support for the endeavor, or someone cleared a loan at the bank. You know, so you've gotten past that first hurdle. Well, now, you know, you have to decide what it is you're going to invest in. Then all of a sudden you start noticing, and once you've gotten past that first big hurdle, that people's ideas start to skew a little bit, right? Well, I think we should take it in this direction. Well, I think we should take it here. I think we should take it here. And then all of a sudden, okay, well, maybe you come to an agreement on how to invest the money that you've acquired. But now that you've got this big purchase, let's say, or this big investment in place, now the ideas start to skew even further. Well, I thought we were headed in this direction once we got to this point. Well, I thought we were going this direction. That's what it feels like to me. It started off as, you know, a big idea in a compact, nice little neat package. And then as soon as it started to grow and develop and expand, so did the ideas of the different people involved. You see what I'm saying? So I know I shuffled and cut this deck already, but then I rambled on. I'm just going to give it one last shuffle, and then we're going to get some more cards out here for you, Virgo. Let's see what else we get for Virgo. Clarifying this King of Pentacles, we have now the King of Wands in reverse. And then we have Death in reverse. So this King energy, King of Wands, King of Pentacles, I feel like he may have been the person who the idea maker, the person who came up with the seed that was planted and that eventually started to grow. I feel like he is the reason why this project or goal or endeavor is a reality. But as time has passed, I think what he's realized is that at one time, while it felt like everybody was on the same page, because everybody wasn't completely clear and completely honest and completely forthright with their vision, now he's stuck with a lack of power, lack of control, and a level of insecurity with regard to the situation that maybe he feels like he can't even control anymore, because he's dealing with a bunch of people who will not be forthright and honest, and specifically this Queen of Cups. Now, I'm not saying that at this point in time there's not something in this reading indicating that things can move forward and that agreements can't be had. I don't necessarily feel that. I just feel right now in the current state that you're dealing with, Virgo, there's a lot of frustration, and this king in particular feels like he's lost a certain level of control. He may be bending to the will of others, trying to make everybody happy. And I feel like the more that he does that, the more he feels set back. Like he's satisfied one person, and then he realizes that so-and-so's unhappy because now we have to deal with the situation, that kind of thing. Once he gets past one hurdle, then he's faced with more issues. And again, I'm saying he because it's a King of Pentacles, but I want to remind my female viewers, you can embody this energy. This is just the energy of the card, not the gender of the card. We have a 10 of Wands in reverse. Empress. The World. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Cups again. And then the Wheel of Fortune. So we have Death in reverse, the World, Wheel of Fortune. All of these can indicate cycles coming to a close, or things moving forward, or things not moving forward. In the case of Death in reverse, I feel like there's something that has to be dealt with that hasn't been, and that is a certain level of clarity that needs to be had with regard to whatever you're moving toward, Virgo. Ultimately, what you need is everybody on board and everybody willing to adopt this kind of energy. Sincerity, a willingness to collaborate and discuss things and eventually compromise on the things that can't be agreed upon. There needs to be this friendly discourse, this ability to move forward because everybody's on the same page and everybody wants the same thing. Everybody's invested enough in this Four of Wands to be able to move forward in the manner that is required in order to obtain a goal of this kind, especially when you've got more than just a single person involved. It requires collaboration. At this point in time, however, it feels like things have become significantly imbalanced. I feel like there's a lack of communication. If there's not a lack of communication, it's miscommunication. People are not hearing one another. People are not taking the time to stop and listen and absorb the other points of view being presented. And as a result, there's a lot of discontent. And I think that this Queen of Cups, who I feel is also this Empress energy, there is this expectation of this Queen of Cups that she is integral, I have a hard time with that word. She is an important part of this endeavor. And that if she can't participate or can't be on board or can't continue to move in a forward direction with this goal or project, then things might fall apart. So it's almost like if this person's not happy, then it's going nowhere. That's the feeling I get. So it's important for this Queen of Cups to be on board with the situation in order to continue moving forward. And right now, that is not the case. It might be that in the recent past or present, it just came out in the open that there is some disagreeable energy, or where at one point in time it feels like people were resistant to expressing themselves or saying, hey, you know what, I don't agree with the situation, or I don't like where this is headed. There was this resistance to expressing those feelings because everybody wants this so badly to move forward in the right direction, that expressing discontent would put the brakes on and then unnecessarily put things on hold. So I feel like there's been this resistance, but at this point in time, it feels like there needs to be an opportunity to sit down and discuss the different visions that people have, because if you don't do that, it's going nowhere. It's going to come to an abrupt halt, and you will have lost everything that you've already gained. And part of that means that people need to come out in the open with how they feel and be willing to express maybe some negative emotions that have been withheld up to this point. Because if you're part of a situation, Virgo, where you're unhappy and you get farther and farther into it and you realize that now it's going in a total opposite direction, for example, than you ever envisioned, then is this really something that you want to be involved in? So you've got to express how you feel about the situation and be willing to be very honest about that. That's where the roadblocks seem to be occurring in the situation. So let's get some more cards out here for Virgo. We have the Two of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Five of Wands again in reverse, clarifying this Queen, Four of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse this time, Seven of Pentacles, and then the Nine of Swords. I feel like this king has been trying to keep things going despite the insincerity or the lack of clarity that has been provided to him. I think he's trying to maintain a certain sense of control of the situation, even without knowing all the facts. And that's what a good leader does, right? Even if he is burdened by someone who's not being completely honest or someone who's outright lying, he's still trying to move things forward. And this is still a goal for him, something he is not giving up on, even though he might feel like he's losing a little bit of control. It might be that this Queen of Cups, who's causing this level of disruption within this group dynamic to an extreme, needs to walk away from this situation. Or let's say this King of Pentacles is a boss, or a manager or something of that nature. It feels like this person could be considering letting this person go, firing them, laying them off, because I feel like this Queen of Cups is holding things back for emotional reasons. she's letting her emotions get in the way, and she's holding things back. Now, again, I feel like she's being, she's the focal point here. And she might, again, I feel the sense of feeling targeted, feeling like everybody's picking on me. I mean, you can really see that in the images of the cards. The Five of Wands in reverse, which is out here in the upright. This is the third time it's come out. The Five of Wands in the upright can indicate friendly competition, discussion, debate, you know, people working together. But again, there's that also that air of, you know, friendly content, people kind of tossing ideas back and forth, that kind of thing. But this person has created this conflict within this group that appears pretty extreme, and it's all based around something emotional for her, some kind of emotional obstacle for her, something personal to her that is getting in the way of progress. And because it feels like she's unable or unwilling to deal with this issue, she's holding the entire group back. And then it feels like this energy of things are just building and building and building, because there might be a certain level of resentment toward this person. And then she starts feeling targeted and starts adopting kind of a victim mentality. Why is everybody picking on me? I can't help the way I feel, that kind of thing. And so there might be some pressure on this queen to get over it, or get out. That kind of feeling. Let's get this last round out, Virgo. Page of Wands. The World in reverse. Hangman in reverse. Four of Swords in reverse. Ten of Swords in reverse. Ace of Cups. Six of Wands in reverse again, clarifying the Six of Wands in reverse. And then the King of Pentacles again in reverse. Interesting, because he was the first card that came out, and he's the last card that came out. Well, not technically the last. I'm still going to pull my Dreams of Gaia, but the last of my layout cards. So this king might, at this point in time, be getting ready to, or has already revealed how he's feeling about the situation. Maybe that he's feeling a little insecure, uncertain about whether or not things can move forward with the way things currently stand, with the level of discontent within this group dynamic. This king is worried that things can't move forward, that things are not progressing, and that he doesn't have the willpower or resources or ability or just a level of confidence to move things forward at this point in time because of this level of discontent within this group dynamic. I think he's been really patient too. I think that there is the sense that this has happened over and over. This is something that, you know, has felt broken and then repaired, and things adjusted, and, you know, tweaking this and tweaking that, and moving forward. And yet we're still dealing with this, a level of defeat, not able to succeed, not able to please the masses. Things are not stable for the situation. And there's been a lot of patience too put forth, a lot of effort, a lot of energy put forth into the situation. And it feels like things are the level of frustration with continued roadblocks, or being faced with people being unhappy with how things are turning out. It's just piling on and piling on and piling on. And this king feels like he's reached a certain level of frustration. I'm not sure he feels like he can get past. Again, even, you know, with the hangman in reverse. To me, the hangman in reverse too can indicate this inability to see another person's point of view, or again, having this mentality of having to accept what other people say or what other people think, because you don't have a voice, or you don't feel a level of power, or you don't feel legitimate or heard or respected within a group dynamic. I feel like this queen feels targeted. I feel like she feels like she's being victimized to a certain extent, or blamed, because she can't get past some kind of emotional issue that's standing in her way. This could have to do with a person, a specific energy that is her focal point, her reason for feeling the way she does. So Virgo, we're going to get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card for you and wrap this up. I don't see a specific outcome in the set of cards that I'm looking at. Just current energy. It feels very frustrating, but at the same time, it also feels like things could be coming out in the open finally. If they're not, they need to, and if they haven't yet, it looks like they're going to. It looks like if people haven't been speaking on a really direct level with regard to their visions, their expected outcomes, how they feel about the situation at hand in this moment. If that hasn't happened yet, it needs to, and if it hasn't, it's going to, because things won't move forward in this state. And that might mean that this Queen of Cups needs to come to terms with something once and for all, or get out. Deal with it or get out. And I don't mean to sound abrupt or harsh, because I don't know what the situation is for this Queen of Cups. But she does feel targeted, and frankly, she might be being targeted for a very good reason. She might be, based on what I'm seeing, the reason behind why things aren't moving forward. So perhaps this King of Pentacles needs to kind of step up to the plate, regain a certain level of confidence, and then make some decisions for the group, or just be forthright with this queen and let her know how he's feeling, so that things can move forward and both and all people involved can be happy and content with how things are going. Let's go ahead. there's two. I'm going to take these two. So we have masculine, feminine in reverse, and then we have the Five of Cups in reverse. Two potential blockages. The 11 cards are the page cards in the traditional Rider-Waite, but these are very different cards in this particular deck. And this is, when it's in reverse, indicates an imbalance. And this in particular is masculine and feminine energy. I'll read that one last. It's kind of long, and I'm going to have to read the upright meaning in order for you to understand what the card's about in the reverse. I will read this one first. It's the Five of Water, which is the Five of Cups. And it's a potential blockage if it's in the reverse. This one should be a relatively short. It's about a third of a page, so not very long. Okay, here we go, Virgo. The Five of Water reversed is a gentle reminder that while it is okay to feel hard done by now and again, and to allow ourselves to be swept up in one of life's many dramas, it does not serve us well to embrace a victim mindset in the long term or permanent basis. There comes a time when we must unlock the emotional chains that bind us and walk free of them. The Five of Water reversed may be asking us whether the moment that we have bound ourselves to has passed, and if so, to accept that what is done cannot be undone. Therefore, it may be time to stop gnashing our teeth, wailing and moaning and pointing fingers, for continued self-pity is likely to do nothing more than alienate others and hamper our potential. I mean, this obviously is pertaining to this Queen of Cups, kind of dwelling in this victim mindset. Interesting that this came up in this card. Remember, as always, that we play a part in every situation. We make choices, both passive and active, that influence every outcome that manifests. New and different choices can be made in the present. Choose to move forward. The Five of Water reversed advises us not to be a slave to emotions and moments that no longer serve. It is time to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. And that's this individual right here. So, you know, fingers, again, maybe she may be feeling like a target. She may be feeling that people are pointing fingers at her, and you know, energetically that's probably true, but it's because she's stuck in this victim mindset. She can't get past some kind of emotional issue that's kind of holding her back and holding others back. So let's get to this masculine, feminine. Again, this is an imbalance, 11 of Fire, and then we're going to wrap this up. So the 11 of Fire, I'm going to read the reverse portion first because it's just a very short passage. That's the blockage right there. And then the actual meaning of the card is about 2 pages. It's pretty long. If it's in reverse, and it says the 11 of Fire reversed has a very simple and direct meaning. If it appears in your reading today, it, like its upright meaning, symbolizes a potential imbalance that needs to be addressed. Okay, so here's the meaning of the card itself. The 11 of Fire is a balancing and realignment card. It symbolizes the importance of balancing our masculine and feminine energies, and to remind us we are and always will be a mix of both. Our physical gender is irrelevant. The 11 of Fire asks that we look beyond gender stereotypes to how we respond and react to day-to-day experiences. On an energetic level, our masculine aspect serves to protect self and others, while our feminine aspect serves to nurture self and others. In a simplistic society, a typical male will embody a more masculine energy than feminine. They are characteristically more aggressive and forceful, but also very protective of those they feel are in need of protection. However, they are more apt to use physical force and aggression to protect. A typical female, however, will embody more feminine energy than masculine. They are characteristically more passive and yielding, and while possessing the same desire to protect the vulnerable, they will generally use diplomacy and dialogue in order to determine an option and avoid conflict. Gender stereotypes are often one-dimensional and rarely accurate, especially when we are discussing masculine and feminine energy as opposed to man and woman. It can become even more problematic to assign specific attributes to either gender when there are many men who identify as female and women who identify as male. When it comes to masculine and feminine energy, we all have both, regardless of our physical gender or the gender we have assigned ourselves. And this energy is expressed in how we behave and act. It influences all that we do. Masculine energy is active, impatient, assertive, creative, aggressive, forceful, protective, logical, analytical, and controlling. Feminine energy is inactive, calm, retiring, receptive, passive, yielding, nurturing, emotional, intuitive, and allowing. Masculine energy motivates us to focus upon our personal needs and self, while feminine energy motivates us to think of others and their needs. And I just want to indicate, while I don't necessarily agree with what's the exact wording in this description of this card, I think that it is a good description and good explanation as to why, when reading tarot, the gender of the cards doesn't matter, because it is about the energy. We all have masculine and feminine energy, and we all embody those different energies at different times during our lives, you know, month, day to day, hour to hour, right? So I just wanted to clear that up, and that's why I often indicate don't be concerned about the gender of the cards in the tarot readings. Okay, onward. Again, regardless of gender, a person who is energetic and proactive is embracing masculine energy, while a person who is calm and passive is embracing feminine energy. Neither is intrinsically good or bad, but if an imbalance is present, it can be evident in our actions and give rise to destructive behavior. An imbalance can occur when we have too much of one and not enough of another. We're not enough of the other all the time. Too much of one without enough influence from the other can create a very discordant and destructive mix. But what is the right mix? This is not about having equal parts of both, but about having a harmonious blending that is suited to your lifestyle and personal goals and needs. If you are not assertive enough, you may need to embrace more masculine energy. If you are overly assertive to the point where others are always intimidated by you, then consider embracing a little more feminine energy and soften your approach. An aggressive approach or method is sometimes required in order to break from the old and make way for the new, but aggressive methods don't always have to be violent. To be forceful is not always indicative of physical force being used. Masculine and feminine energy should be allowed to flow and ebb as it is needed. Like fire, flickering, and dancing, you add less fuel if you want things to cool, and more fuel if you want things to heat up. Enough heat gives rise to creative, productive energy, but too much heat can burn both you and others. Cooling things a little gives rise to a nurturing warmth, but too little fuel in the fire could go out completely. The 11 of Fire symbolizes an opportunity to take a moment to evaluate your life and ask yourself whether you need to embrace a little more masculine or feminine energy in your day-to-day activities and relationships. Do you need to step up and be a little more assertive or proactive? Does something or someone need your protection? Are you not nurturing yourself or others enough? Are you being overly analytical instead of heeding your intuition? Are you allowing impatience to get the better of you? When your situation calls for calm and compromise, are you choosing a path of inaction when you need to embrace one of action in order to manifest the changes you need? Pause for a moment, evaluate, and bring your masculine and feminine energies back into a harmonious alignment with your life and your needs. So, again, that was kind of a long explanation, but obviously the issue in this particular situation is about that balance. And it could be representing both sides, this king and the queen, and the group as a whole, whoever's involved in this situation. I think that there are, this reading is indicating that it's not just this queen that needs to work through some things, but she certainly is a focal point, and she needs to kind of move away from this mindset that she's a victim, maybe adopt a more assertive energy, a more masculine energy, and stop feeling like things are happening to her, and realize that she is the one who's manifesting this energy for herself, because she's in control of the situation, right? So I'm going to leave that here, Virgo. I hope that this reading was helpful to you. I hope you gained some insight, maybe feel like you got a little bit of advice in moving forward, whatever that looks like for you. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. If it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, that's always great too. And I'll see you next time. Bye, Virgo.